Hello friends, welcome to this new tutorial. Today I have here the Samsung Galaxy S9. The problem on it is the screen. The screen is broken here in this corner as you see. And today I will show you how to replace the screen on this phone. To do this job we will need some tools and parts. The first thing we will need a screen. I already have it. I got the screen with the frame on it because when you get the screen without frame it's gonna be very hard for you to seal it. It will be easy to seal it, but it's gonna stay. It may stay open from the corners. I mean, from the sides. So it's better get a screen with the frame. You're gonna pay a little bit extra, maybe $10 or 15 extra, but it's worth it, you know. All right. So the screen. Then we may need the back because we're gonna put a black screen. Black frame. So we need a black back glass. I have it here. So in case you want to keep yours, yes, you can keep yours. And those are the parts that we will need. Then we will need an IC semi, a piece of plastic like this, double sticky adhesive, Phillips screwdriver, and tweezers, and maybe we'll need this badger. I think that's all what we will need. So let's put this tool aside and let's start. And I forgot, we need a heat gun. That's the part that I forgot. So this is a heat gun, and when I talk about the heat gun we will need a glove. I have this glove right here. This is the glove. Okay, so I think that's all. If I forget something, please watch the video from the beginning to the end and you will see if I mention something during the video. Okay, and also it's good to watch the video from the beginning to the end to have an idea about how this work will be done. Then you can decide if you can do it yourself or you give it to someone professional who can do it for you. All right, so before we start, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment area. All right, so let's start. I'm gonna put this glove, then we will take the phone, we'll turn off the phone. Turn off. It has a password, so I cannot turn it off. All right, so now I'm gonna just use the heat gun and they will heat up the back frame for maybe 1 to 2 minutes. It depends on how much your heat gun is hot. Mine, I'm gonna put it on the highest level, so it may take like 1 minute. Okay, spread the heat all around the edges. Don't heat it up too much, you may melt something inside. All right, so I think it's hot enough. So what I'm gonna do, I will use this IC semi and they will make a small gap here. If it's not hot enough, when you try to put this inside here, it's not gonna, you cannot insert it here. As you see, mine is got inside here. If you find it hard, it is hard to put this tool inside, just heat it up a little bit more. And when you put this thing inside, make sure don't wiggle, don't pray up, or don't go deep inside. Okay, so because once you wiggle, you're gonna break this back glass, then you have to buy another one in case your back glass is still good. So just insert it like this, make a small gap gently, don't use the force. Then we're gonna insert this plastic here. We're gonna remove this one and we will continue the job with this plastic. So we're just gonna slide this all around the edges until we release all the adhesive that is holding it in the bottom. If you find that this plastic is not going smooth inside here, you can use a little bit force, but if it's hard, you need to heat up the back glass a little bit more.
I didn't understand that.
Alright guys, so I'm still trying to release this back frame or back cover or back glass, you can call it whatever you want. Some people they are calling the back door too. Anyway, so I'm just trying to make sure that this plastic not stacking on any components inside, so that's why I'm taking a look, and they see that I'm separating only the adhesive. We have also a cable inside. I don't want to cut that cable. This is the cable is for the fingerprint scanner here. Alright, so as you see, it's released, but it's still, we still have the button here, I mean this fingerprint scanner here holding. So I'm just gonna pull it, and that's it. So we're gonna put this aside here. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna open all the screws here. Let me see how many screws we have here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 screw. Okay, this is the first one. Second, and this is the last screw. All the screws are the same, so you don't have to worry about mixing them up. So once I remove all the screws from here, there is one thing I forgot to mention. We need to remove the SIM card from here. I use this pin to take off the SIM card. It's on the top. Yeah, we have here SIM card and memory card. Alright, so now I'm gonna remove these brackets. I'm just gonna pull them off. This is one, and we have another bracket here in the bottom. Sometimes if you feel like it's not, if you feel you cannot take this off, that means there is a screw hole in it. Make sure there is no screws left here before you use the force to disconnect any part. Alright, so this is the battery, and because the phone is still on, we need to turn off the phone. Disconnecting the battery will turn off the phone. Then here I have this screen cable. This is the screen cable. Then I have this Wi-Fi cable here, or wireless cable. Alright, then we have here these two cables. We're gonna use the tweezers to take them, to disconnect them. Grab the cable from this part here, which is metal, and make sure don't use the force, just gently disconnect. Alright. Then we have another cable here, and now what I'm gonna do, I will just push this cable here down, and they will lift up the motherboard. I'm just gonna use these tweezers and go underneath to separate this cable from the charging port. And then we have one screw here on the motherboard. You need to remember, before you take the motherboard out, make sure you remove the screw. You see, this is the vibrator, and this screw is here next to the vibrator. Make sure you put it back from where we take it off. This screw, it looks like it's shorter than the other screws, so we're gonna put it aside by itself. This screw is not important to put it back, but it's holding the power button cables. I mean the motherboard, it holds the motherboard connected to the power button cable, so when you click here it touches, you know. Anyway, so we're just gonna remove the motherboard now. I'm just gonna remove any cable on the way, and this is motherboard. So now we need to transfer the motherboard here. Where is the screen? It's right here. So we're gonna transfer the small components that we have here to the motherboard. Okay, so we're gonna remove this plastic that is covering the earpiece, and then we're gonna use, so I forgot to mention that we will need a flathead screwdriver. So we're gonna use this flathead screwdriver. We're gonna go underneath the earpiece here, and we pry up gently. and then we're gonna just transfer it directly here. This piece here comes with its adhesive on it, so I'm just gonna remove this adhesive because I already have other adhesive here. If you don't, leave this adhesive on it. So we're just gonna put this one here, and then we have the vibrator here, and we're gonna use this flathead screwdriver also, and we will find the gap. There is a gap here. The same thing for the earpiece, we have a gap here in this part, so we go from that gap and we just insert it underneath and we pray up. I release it. Then we're gonna just then we're gonna just put this right here. And what else? So the power button, we already have it here, and we have the volume up and the Bixby button, they are already here, so we don't have to transfer them. So now what we need to transfer is this little piece here. I think this is the proximity sensor, so we're just gonna find a way how to get underneath, I think from here, and we're just gonna pray up until we release it. And when you see this golden copper adhesive here, make sure when you release this, release the cable gently. Then we're gonna remove this with this copper tape, and then directly we're gonna put it here. Make sure it fits perfectly. Then we glue this copper adhesive. There is a small prong here, this black one. Some screens doesn't come with it because when you use this pin to push the SIM card from here, take it out. If this piece is missing, you need to transfer it from here because the SIM card not gonna come out if you don't have this little prong here. This is just like small plastic stick. You just insert it there in case it's missing in your screen. You take it out from here and you put it on the new screen, okay? But mine is already have it, so I don't need to transfer it. All right, so now I think I transferred everything from here. So the rest, all right, so the rest, it's gonna be the charging port. So let me transfer the charging port. I will leave the motherboard until I transfer the charging port, okay? So here the charging port have a couple screws, have like 1 2 3 4 5 screws on it. So these screws, we have this one, you need to remember from where you took the screws. So we have this one here. By the way, these screws are a little bit shorter than the outside screws, so try to put these screws back to their spots. So we have this one in this corner, then we have two here, and if you remember, if you see here, we have a hole here. So when you try to put the charging port, make sure don't put this screw here, but put it here, okay? So I'm just gonna take this screw off, and they will put it here, and they have this one here, and we have here this headphone jack. It has a screw here. I'm gonna put it here. So we have one screw here on the headphone jack, right? And right after the headphone jack here on top, we have another screw. Okay, so we're gonna take this screw, and remember to put this screw back here, okay? Because we have other holes, we may think that the screw is gonna go to them, you know. And then with what I'm gonna do, I will disconnect this cable. This is the headphone jack cable. I disconnect it. Then I will insert the screwdriver inside here. Then I will just pry up gently. I remove this. Alright, so then for the charging port, to remove the charging port from here, it has a blue cable. The blue cable is going underneath the white cable. And we have another cable here. It sticks to the side, to the frame. So we need to release it. So let's release this one out. And then we can just grab the charging port, remove these cables from this channel. Then we can just grab this cable here, the flex cable, and pull it out gently. So what I'm gonna do, the right way, I'm just gonna bring it here and transfer it exactly how it was before I forgot, you know. All right, so now I'm just gonna put, I talk about that we have a blue cable, the blue cable going inside this channel first, then on top of it we have the white cable. All right, so I put them inside this channel, and then this cable here will go inside this corner, and I will put this headphone jack just like this, insert it from inside here, then connect the cable. I connect it, and then I will put the screws back. So we have one screw, it goes here right on top of the, I mean right after the headphone jack. Okay, then we have another screw on the headphone jack itself on this little side. Then we have this screw here. Make sure don't put it here, okay, it's right here. Then we have this screw here, not here but here, okay. Then we have this screw in the corner, and that's it. So now what I'm gonna do, I will just take the motherboard and I will put it here, but before I put it here I will connect the charging port cable. So I will lift up the charging port cable, then I will make sure that the connection is matching, then I will snap it. Okay, it's connected, right? So now what I'm gonna do, I will just let the motherboard sit flat here. We have a little problem here. This camera, it's on the way, so we're gonna push the camera down, then we make sure the camera, front facing camera, fits inside, or we can disconnect this cable until we fit it inside, then reconnect it. Make sure there is no cables underneath the motherboard. So we have this cable here, make sure don't leave it underneath the motherboard. We need to connect it here. Okay, so this is the camera cable, I disconnected it, so I'm connecting it back. Then we have this screw that is holding the motherboard. You remember it was next to the vibrator. Then I have this cable here, the white cable, and the blue cable must be here underneath this part here. Just make sure you lift it up gently until you fit these two cables inside. So I'm just gonna like use this and make sure don't damage the LCD cable. Okay, I think I will need to use these tweezers because it's sharper and it will hold it. Then this cable go inside here, then I will release. Alright, so here I'm gonna connect the white cable first. It's here on this corner, and the blue gonna go here on top. Make sure these cables are very sensitive. The edges are very sharp, and if the cable is not matching with its connection on the motherboard, it's not gonna fit. So if you use the force, you will damage the edges here, and then you're gonna be in a problem. This cable not gonna connect, then you will not have you will have a problem on the signal. Alright, so I connect the blue cable, then we have this wireless cable here. By the way, this blue cable and the white cable, they are for the 4G and 3G. 3G will be out of the market soon. And then I connect this one. Then you see this cable here, this is the main cable on the LCD, so make sure you match it perfectly with the connection on the motherboard, then you snap it. I think I already transferred everything except the battery. So now I will show you how to transfer the battery from here to here. We're gonna use only this IC semi and we will insert it here. Then we will just pray up gently. Make sure don't cut the battery, don't poke it, don't make any cut on it. I'm just gonna pray gently. Some people, they may use the alcohol to loosen the battery that is underneath, but for me I don't think that it's really important. I can remove it without going that step. Alright, so here I have, maybe when you remove the battery you may have some wrinkles on it. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take a Sharpie like this or something like this, and you're just gonna smoothen the battery and remove the wrinkles on it. So now here I have this plastic which is covering the adhesive that is holding the battery. So now before I put the battery inside here, I will make sure I connect this cable right here, because sometimes when you just connect the battery, maybe it will stay up or down a little bit and the cable not gonna reach to its connection here. So connect the cable first, then let the battery go. If you are still doing more work on the motherboard, disconnect the battery, then reconnect it when you finish. But for me, I'm already done, so I will just put this bracket here. Make sure there is no gap. Then I have this bracket also. I'm just gonna insert it here. And that's it. Make sure don't leave any gap here, because there is like some hooks you need to push, to click and push them inside to hold, so that this is not gonna keep popping up. Because if you leave it a little bit up like this, it may interrupt the back glass to stick very well there. All right, so here okay, so that's it. So now we will just I will just put the screws. I will start with this one. I will put it here. Then I have another screw here on the opposite side. Then I have this in this corner. When you are putting the screws, try to put the corners first and the sides, then go for the rest. As you see, I put this corner too. Then I will go here and here and here and here. Okay. So we have this one here. Then we have this one here in the corner, and this in this corner. Then I will put the rest of the screws. All right, my friends, so I put all the screws back here. So then I have a problem. You see this purple SIM card tray? When I put it here, it will look purple, right? So I looked everywhere, then I found that I already have a black one. It's right here. Then I solved this problem. So you need to make sure you have the black piece, but it's not gonna be a problem. If you are fixing your phone and the color is different, this will work. The color is not gonna be a problem. But if it's for a customer, maybe the customer will be picky and he may tell you, no, I don't want it purple. All right, so this is one thing. And the second thing that I stuck on is this one here. You see the fingerprint scanner? It's a purple as well. I looked everywhere, then I found this. I have a lot of junk here, so I found this. And this is for the Galaxy S9. I mean S9 Plus. And the good thing, it fits here. That's all what I need. All right, so now I put this thing here. And all what left now, I need to put what is called the adhesive here. Then I will glue the back frame. The back frame already come with its own adhesive on it. Let me show you. This is just covering the camera lens. You see this adhesive here, but when I try to remove this plastic, it's not getting separated, it comes off with it. So that's why I'm just gonna remove this, all this adhesive, and they will put a new one for this phone. And in case your phone doesn't come, in case you don't have this adhesive, you can just use this one. Just make sure you remove it carefully. Let me show you. I'm just gonna pretend that it's perfect right here, and I'm just gonna glue it very well. Then I will peel off just the blue plastic which is covering it. Make sure don't scratch the back frame. This one, it's not easy to separate. Anyway, I can separate it like this. As you see, I separate the blue from the black, and that's it. I'm just gonna keep peeling it off until you remove it. So the adhesive is right here, you see it? So it sticks here, and you can leave it here and you glue it down, and if you have a case it will hold it perfectly, but for me I don't need it. Alright, so now we're gonna use this double sticky adhesive. You can buy it from the internet, from eBay or Amazon. It's cheap, maybe like $5 or $10 maximum. It depends how much you need, but for me I may use this one for hundreds of phones. For you just need a little piece for one phone. Alright, so now I will put this adhesive. I will make sure that the adhesive is not overlapping the edge, and that's it. And then I will cut this one evenly with the edge. Then I will put another strip here. By the way, this adhesive is more better than the adhesive that comes with the frame, but if we don't have other option, we're gonna use it. That's why I prefer this one, because the back will stick very well and it's not gonna keep popping up. Alright, so now I'm just making sure that the adhesive is not overlapping the edge or overlapping each other, This adhesive will seal the phone and make sure that the water or any liquid not getting inside. But anyway, it's not gonna protect it. Even when the phone is brand new, it's not protected from the water or liquid damage, because this adhesive is protecting the back, but the water always can get in from this hose here. You have the loudspeaker, the charging port, this one here, we have the earpiece here, we have the SIM tray, we have the microphones. So too many holes on this phone that allows the water to get inside. Alright, so I'm using this spudger to make sure that the adhesive sticks very well. And that's it. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do, I will just remove the plastic or the paper that is covering the adhesive, and we have the adhesive here now. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do, I will just make sure I will align this here and glue it down, and that's it. Et voila, so the job is done perfectly with no problem. But let's turn the phone on and test the screen before we seal it, right? I just sealed the phone without testing it, but I'm very confident that we will have no problem here, you know. So I turn it on. This is just plastic covering this screen to not get like dirty during the work. Okay, let's remove it. Alright, so all set. So let me click here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. As you see, everything is working perfect. I don't have the password for this phone, so that's why I'm just gonna, and I have this thing like here, as you see. So the phone is brand new again, with the same tray, with the fingerprint scanner and the back glass. The phone was purple, now it's black. Alright guys, I hope that you enjoy watching this video. I just took my time and show you all the details because I don't want you to miss anything during this repair. And by the way, this is the same method when you are fixing the the Samsung S9 and S9 Plus. It's almost the same, and with very minor differences if you are fixing the 8 and the 8 Plus, and even the 10 and the 10 Plus, and so on. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please, if you like what you see or if you learn from this video, please hit the thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment area. Just tell me how it was, and just you can just write Samsung S9 done perfectly, and that's it. This is a comment, and this will help the video to be watched from a lot of people, and that will help the channel. Also subscribe for more videos, and leave your comments like in down below. If you have any questions, leave them there. I will answer your questions. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Peace.